For decades, China's ambition wasn't just about skyscrapers or high-speed trains, it was about building its own large passenger jet. This big aircraft dream symbolized national pride and the push for self-reliance. Despite being the world's factory, China couldn't produce its own commercial airliner, a gap it was determined to close. COMAC, the Commercial Aircraft Corporation of China, was created to take on Boeing and Airbus. Their answer, the C919, a narrow-body jet to rival the Boeing 737 and Airbus A320. The project was a national priority, aiming to reduce dependence on Western aircraft and become a global aviation player. But building a modern jet is one of the world's most complex industrial feats, requiring mastery of thousands of technologies. China made progress, but the C919's engines, the heart of the plane, still came from the West. The LEAP engine, co-developed by GE and Safran, was essential. Without it, the C919 was just a shell. As global tensions rose, this reliance on foreign engines became a strategic vulnerability. Suddenly, China's aviation dream was at risk, not from technical failure, but from geopolitics. Under President Trump, US-China cooperation gave way to confrontation, especially over technology. The C919, a symbol of China's ambitions, landed in Washington's crosshairs. In 2020, the Trump administration considered blocking GE from selling LEAP engines to COMAC, citing national security. The fear: China could reverse engineer the tech, eroding America's aerospace lead. GE pushed back, warning that a ban would hurt US business and only accelerate China's self-sufficiency. The debate pitted economic interests against security hawks. Ultimately, Trump allowed engine sales to continue, but the message was clear: access to US technology could be cut off at any time. For China, this was a wake-up call. The C919's future could be decided by a political decision in Washington. China realized it couldn't let its aviation ambitions depend on a rival's goodwill. The engine blockade threat exposed the fragility of China's high-tech dreams. It was time to act. Why was the engine blockade so threatening? Because jet engines are among the most complex machines ever built. Modern turbofans operate at temperatures hotter than their own metal's melting points, with blades spinning at incredible speeds. The materials, super alloys, often single crystal, are a closely guarded secret, mastered by only a few Western firms. Even a tiny flaw can cause catastrophic failure. The design, integration, and software require decades of expertise and billions in investment. This is why the market is dominated by GE, Pratt & Whitney, and Rolls-Royce. For newcomers, the barriers are immense: patents, trade secrets, and manufacturing know-how. The Trump administration's threat targeted this bottleneck. Without engines, the C919 was grounded before it could fly. China's challenge was clear: master the engine, or remain dependent. China responded to the engine threat by doubling down on self-reliance. The government poured resources into developing a homegrown jet engine, the AECC CJ1000A. AECC, China's aero engine giant, worked in parallel, using Western engines for early C919s while racing to finish the CJ1000A. The goal: a direct replacement for the LEAP-1C, matching its performance. Chinese engineers tackled superalloys, fan aerodynamics, and control systems, solving problems that took the West decades. Progress was steady, with successful tests of key components and the first test flight by 2023. The CJ1000A wasn't yet as efficient as the LEAP, but it was a breakthrough. China invested billions, built research centers, and trained a new generation of engineers. The program wasn't just about one engine, it was about building an entire aerospace ecosystem. The American blockade didn't stop China, it forced it to innovate. The CJ1000A marked China's entry into the elite club of jet engine makers. The monopoly was breaking. The US attempt to block China's aviation rise triggered complex global reactions. European partners like France and Germany, with companies invested in the C919, pushed for moderation over confrontation. A full tech blockade would hurt their industries too. Russia, facing its own sanctions, deepened aerospace ties with China, co-developing the CR929 wide-body jet. For developing nations, a Chinese jet meant more choice and lower prices. Despite political tensions, many Western suppliers quietly continued business with COMAC, unwilling to lose access to China's vast market. Companies navigated regulations while maintaining relationships, creating a strange duality. Governments talked decoupling, but industries stayed connected. China leveraged this, integrating global expertise into the C919. The result? Faster development and certification. The world's response wasn't black and white, it was a web of interests, profits, and strategy. China wasn't isolated, it was learning and adapting. The global order was shifting. In May 2023, the C919 made its first commercial flight, China's entry into the world of large passenger jets. It was a symbolic victory, breaking the Boeing Airbus duopoly and proving China could build and certify a modern airliner. For China, it meant less reliance on foreign aircraft and a huge boost to national pride. The C919's success could keep trillions of yuan in the domestic economy as Chinese airlines ordered thousands of new planes. Beyond economics, it showed China could manage complex engineering and global supply chains. While the C919 still uses many Western parts, mastering the airframe and certification is a massive achievement. The program inspires other high-tech sectors in China, from chips to biotech. The C919 laid the foundation for future projects like the wide-body CR929 and the full-scale CJ1000A engine. Initial orders are strong, mostly from Chinese airlines. As reliability grows, COMAC will seek international certification and global sales. The C919's launch is just the beginning of China's aviation era. The C919's story is about more than an airplane. It's about the future of technology, trade, and power. The US engine blockade didn't stop China. It accelerated its push for independence. The aviation landscape is changing. Boeing and Airbus now face a serious challenger. For now, the C919 will serve China's domestic market, but global competition is coming. This shift means more options for airlines and a new balance in aerospace manufacturing. The West can't take its lead for granted. It must invest and innovate to stay ahead. Competition from China could drive progress if it remains fair. Governments and companies must navigate a new world of co-opetition, cooperation, and competition. China's C919 signals a broader move up the value chain, from factory to tech creator. The journey isn't over, but the C919 is flying, a reminder that technological leadership must be earned and renewed. A new era in aviation has begun, and the world must adapt.